Bonjour, peeps. Hi, this is Neshi Locatz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page where I do a daily live stream. Okay, almost every day. I have taken a couple of days off. And this live stream is about a card draw that I do every morning. Anyway, I've been doing it for years. And I started to share parts of that card draw on Instagram about a year ago. And every day, adding something to our Instagram account. And then in May, I thought, well, maybe the Star Nations community here in Facebook would enjoy having a spiritual conversation about the card draw. And so I started doing live streams in May. And it's been fun. I really do enjoy it. What I really like the most is spending time with the people in our community and sharing about, the spiritual card of the day. Yeah. So, excuse me. Today is Friday. Yay, Friday. And it is October 12th, Friday, October 12th. Yeah. It's been quite a week, hasn't it? It's gone by really, really fast, but there's been a whole bunch of stuff stuffed into just a few days. And life is picking up momentum, right? And trying to fit a whole lot of stuff into a short period of time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the live stream and share it to a couple of different places. First of all, I got to find it. It's on our main fan page at that would be Star Nations Magazine, Radio, and Publishing fan page on Facebook. And here we are. Make sure my sound is down. There we go. I'm going to like it and I'm going to share it. And I'm going to share it, first of all, to my timeline, my newsfeed, and just let my friends know that I am live streaming. It just takes a second. Because of the quick keys. I like those. And just asking them to please join me. And then I'm going to share it to the Star Nations Radio Network closed group. That is the group where most of our active community members hang out. So I just want to let them know. And I'm just going to let them know that I'm live streaming. I'm live streaming. And to please join. All right. It's quick and it's easy. There we go. And I think I'll actually send it over to the Academy too. There we go. There, it's done. Yay. It's always good to do. And I remember today. Lots of times I get started and I forget. Okay, here we go. Before I get started with the actual cards, we got 3 of them today. So I want to make sure we fit them all in, right? I walked into Star Nations Academy where I'm broadcasting from. And I've been broadcasting from here for quite some time now. George, our puppy, isn't with me today because he's with Paul. My husband Paul came home early from work. He's got some crazy hours this weekend, and he came home. And hey, Cindy Lynn, and I had such a surprise when I walked into the Academy. I found these sitting on my desk. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Some of my favorite colors. I just love yellow roses too. Reminds me of my dad, actually. And yeah, I found those on my desk. Oh my gosh. Hi, Cindy Lynn. Good afternoon to you too. Along with, I mean, that is like wow and all by itself, right? And then I also found these truffles, whipping cream truffles. Yum. Paul came up and dropped this stuff off without me knowing because tomorrow is our anniversary. Yeah. And well, we've been together since 1978, and we got married in 1979, October 13th of 1979. And this is another one, another couple things I found on my desk for Mama. Talk about George. And then this one, I wonder what my dog named me, right? Because we have so many nicknames for them. I mean, yes, we give them their formal name, like George. But we wonder, what do they call us, right? Did I ever tell you George's full name? Isn't that sweet? Thank you, Cindy. Cindy Lynn. Yes, it is sweet. I wasn't really expecting much because everything has been so hectic this week, and now that we have George and we still have Mom at home too, right? That it's kind of hard for us to get away spontaneously. Number one, and number two, just to even take just a little time away because right now George isn't quite crate trained. So he does spend some time in there, but not a lot. And with Mom, we kind of have to time things because of she needs to have food a certain amount of time, right, in between. She has lots of little meals a day. She's hypoglycemic. And so we really have to plan something in order to get away. And now Paul's working this weekend besides. So I think he was being really sweet, that's for sure. Hi, Janine. Good to see you in the chat room. So I haven't even gotten him a card yet. Yeah, I need to go and do that like sometime today. I should have went this morning, but George and I had some issues this morning. Had some issues that we had to take care of. It's one of the reasons why I moved the live stream to the afternoons is because mornings were getting to be really kind of jam-packed, and the stress level was starting to go up. And so I thought, okay, so how do we turn down the stress level meter a bit? And so I thought, we'll move the live stream to the afternoon. So I hope you guys, that's all right. I know that some people can only join me in the morning, but we also have the recordings. So they can at least watch the recordings and join when they can, right? Join what they can. So for those who just arrived, my husband gave me these. It's our anniversary tomorrow. Yeah. We've been together for 40 years. 40 years. Doesn't seem like it. I say that to when somebody asks me how long you've been married, and I tell them 40, going on 40 years or 35 years or whatever it was, and they look at me and they say, to the same guy? Yeah, to the same guy. And a couple of people, friends of mine, say, hey, they've been married like, maybe 2 or 3 times, and they say they have the same amount of years, but accumulative between 3 different people or 2 different people. And so it's all an experience, right? It's all an experience. So I did like and share the broadcast already. For those who are just joining, I'd appreciate if you did that. If you could share it out and like it too, that would be nice. Because what we're trying to do is make sure that we let enough people know, because of the time change thing, that those who want to join us can join us. And I appreciate it. And so, I don't know. So Paul really did surprise me. Lots of times, and this kind of happens, you kind of take things for granted sometimes, and we try not to, but it happens. When you've been together for as long as we have, it's kind of hard to try to figure out what kind of gift to give each other, because we're in a time of our life where if we want it, we just do it, and we're not into a lot of blingy kind of stuff. We already did that in our 20s and 30s, and right now we're trying to right size all that stuff that we got when we were in our 30s. We're saying, well, what do we want to do? We haven't even used it in a decade, so we're trying to right size and try not to add more to it if we can. And so he gives me roses, chocolate, and these magnets. These are pretty nice. I like them. Made me smile. Made me smile. So the cards today, we got 3 of them. Thank you, Cindy Lynn. She said, happy early anniversary to us both. Thank you so much. What are we going to do? I haven't even really thought about it a whole lot because we can't really just get up and go. And now that Paul's working this weekend, that makes a difference. We'll probably make a really good meal together. It's always an adventure when we're both in the kitchen at the same time, if you know what I mean. So, usually Paul's the one who picks out a recipe that we haven't done before. So that's always new. And so maybe what we'll do is I'll make Mom a little something ahead of time and let her have her supper early. And then Paul and I'll sit down and have a separate meal or something like that, Maybe get the candles out. We haven't done that in a long time. Candlelight. Yeah. Yeah, that's tomorrow night. That's on Saturday. I don't think he's working tomorrow night, though. I think he's working during the daytime. I don't know. It's a wacky schedule he's on this weekend. So try not to get too wound up about it. We'll try to figure it out. Sometimes, I remember one time we actually did an anniversary breakfast because he was working third shift and he came home and so we did an anniversary breakfast instead. It was like 2 years ago. All right, so the cards today. This is the first card that came, and that is spring. Isn't that funny? Kind of hilarious, ironic funny, is that my spiritual team that I asked, could you please show me the most important energy flowing today that we should know about for our highest good, right? And things to share. And so this is the first card that came, spring, and it's fall. But isn't that some nice artwork? I love the rabbit, the hare. Rabbit. Spring. And what do we know about spring already that, we don't necessarily have to look at or to read about, is that we know that spring is about new beginnings. It's about a new cycle, right? And with the rabbit, it's about abundance and creativity. Those are the things we already know. And the message that he has, that the author, who is Kyle Gray, this is the deck we're using, Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Kyle Gray is the author. And this is what Kyle has to say about the card spring. He says, see your seeds grow. See, that's kind of hard to say. See your seeds grow. Embrace the change that is on the horizon. Allow your dreams to become reality. Kind of like that. Embrace the change that's on the horizon. Allow your dreams to become reality. So this particular card draw is like the number 4 or 5 in a row, where the theme is about change, shifting. And so what this card is telling us is that, what our intention to manifest is coming closer, and it's sitting at the horizon. And allow our dreams to become reality. Because sometimes what happens is the way that the manifestation comes in a way that we're kind of surprised by it, because it's not exactly what we thought it was going to be or how it was going to come in. And sometimes what we do is it comes to our front door and it's like, I didn't order you. That's that you're not mine. I didn't order you. And we close the door. But that was what we had manifested. That's how spirit brought it to us. And so sometimes we almost get the feeling of come here, go away, right? Just because it's not wrapped the way that we thought it was going to be wrapped. Cindy is saying, I sure do hope so, but in a good way. I know, I know. And so this is what else Kyle has to say about it. He says, spring is an exciting time because it has so much potential. Animals are coming out of hibernation, flowers are pushing up through the soil, and the days are getting lighter and brighter. The spring card features a wild hare, rabbit, because in Celtic animal medicine, the hare brings intuition and rebirth. The hare brings intuition and rebirth. Hares are highly fertile beings, and so their medicine can bring dreams to life. All right, so when we take in that information about the hare, about intuition and rebirth, and we're manifesting, right? That change that we wanted in our lives is coming closer. It could be right at your doorstep, not at the horizon, but at the doorstep. And with the hare, it being intuition, about intuition and rebirth. So the change that we've been manifesting is taking us into a new direction, maybe one that we haven't been in before. You know, maybe we're doing something brand new. That would be cool. I like that. Hey, Ann Kuhn just joined us. Hello, Ann. Now, the other thing about the spring card, when I read this earlier, the other thing that kind of jumped out at me is when we have when we're trying to manifest something new, right? And with the law of attraction, and we've set our intention, we've set our affirmations or our mantras, we believe that it's coming, we believe it's already here. Those of us who really understand the essence of the law of attraction is that we actually feel the feelings behind it. So because that's the fuel that catapults our manifestations into the physical world, is our emotions. And so, we're feeling very happy about it and joyful about it. If you're manifesting maybe a new job or a new home or something like that, that you're actually feeling the feelings of what it would be like to be in that new home or in that new job, right? To actually feel the feelings about it. And I was thinking about spring, Grandmother Earth, when we have the seasons as they change, and when we're thinking about spring, Grandmother Earth knows exactly what to do at all times, right? And so when in spring, when the ground has thawed enough and the plants can actually push through, that's like our manifestations pushing through to the physical world, isn't it? That's what I was thinking. And Grandmother Earth is one of is a member of our spiritual teams, all of us. And so she already knows exactly what to do. So when we call on her for assistance, she knows exactly what to do to bring that manifestation to fruition, to bring it into the physical world, because she does it all the time. And even in the fall, where we are right now, she knowing what to do. I was on a phone call earlier this morning with one of my sisters, Minnie Kansman, and we were talking about a whole bunch of things, but one of them, one of the topics was our upcoming show next week for Nature Adventures, and talking about fall and the changes with fall. Each season has a certain energy to it in the change, in the shift. And when we're pulling cards like spring, and all that spring means, it's not necessarily the actual season as it is the spirit of that season. So, because here we are sitting in the fall, and I pull a card about the springtime energy, and that's all about bringing in the new. It's a good card. It's a good card to have when most of us have been experiencing a change, a shift in our lives. It could be from a very little, small shift to a very big one, like, the new job or the new home, or maybe you're moving from one city to another, or maybe from the city to the country. Big changes like that. Yeah, it's all good. Do you remember the last time you went through a huge change? And sometimes, what we're doing is we're manifesting, right? Manifesting. And the way we phrase it to the universe, for instance, the last one that I had huge was last December on the solstice. Paul and I it was just the two of us at the solstice fire that we had. And we were talking out loud about the new things that we wanted to bring in to 2019 or 2018, sorry, 2018. We're going to do the same thing this year. But what I said was that I would like to experience my gifts that I came in with at 100%. I want to know what it's like to use them, to be fully using them at 100%. I would like to have that experience. 2 weeks later, or maybe it was 3 weeks later, boom, big change. Didn't take long for that to happen. Changed my life. And so that was the last huge shift that I experienced. Now I know there's another one, not at the horizon. It's pretty darn close because I can feel it, which is going to change a lot of things here at home again. So when was the last time you guys felt this big change? Went through that shift, right? Hey, Ann. New beginnings, that's right. Cindy Lynn says, I know this isn't really related to the card, but brought up the memory of when I was a little girl. I had a small purple rabbit stuffed animal I took everywhere. And I got upset when my siblings would hide her or get lost, and even carried her at my wedding. I still have it, but when my old dog was a puppy, he chewed her nose off. Aw, but I still have her. She always made me feel safe and loved. That is so sweet. To have something that is so comforting to you all of these years. And whether, she's a bit banged up and, frayed around the edges, she's still with you. And you can feel it. She's really deep in your heart. Yeah, that's so sweet. So when you need to go when you're going through something pretty dramatic sometimes, and around that is usually change, right? Is that you have someone or something to hold on to. Your safe place. A place where you're safe and that you're always loved. That's a good thing. Oh my gosh, there's so many people walking around out there that have no idea what that feels like, have no experience to draw on to get them through that. Yeah. So Cindy Lynn, you are truly blessed with that rabbit. Hey, Mary Anderson Fry, good to see you in the chat. So for those who just joined us, this is the first card that came, Spring. It says, see your seeds grow. And really, it's about manifesting. And it's about the change. It says that the change is on the horizon. And for many, it's probably even closer than that. That you could probably actually even have a name for it by now. Yeah. That's what it feels like anyway. Kyle Gray, who is the author of the deck, goes on to say that you're ready to bring to life all of your ideas, inspirations, and projects. When this card appears, you're moving into a space that allows you to really grow, expand, and create in a way you've never done before. Isn't that exciting? I think it is. There are opportunities for abundance, including financial growth. And if you're starting something new, prepare for a major expansion in your life and soul. That's a really big energy, especially to have this kind of card in the fall. When we think of the fall as a time when we're kind of pulling more inward, we're gathering the last of the harvests. I think Carla Jo Worth, one of our contributing writers for the magazine, she wrote an article last month about, the title was Second Harvest. And it's about those last pieces of the garden that you're collecting and canning and putting up, right? Storing. And so fall is, a lot of fall energy is about that, is getting ready for winter and getting ready to go inwards because it's getting cold out, right? But it's also about change, because here in the upper Midwest, for those of us that live up here, it is a dramatic change because we get to see the color in the trees and how it changes from green to brilliant colors. And so it's a dramatic change. And I think that many of us are experiencing or about to experience that dramatic change. I don't know about you, but for months ago, like at the beginning of 2018, it kind of felt like a holding pattern in some ways. We had that feeling of moving forward. We want to go forward. We've been waiting for a long time. Let's get the show on the road if we're going to do this, right? And so many of us had to be so patient, beyond patient, for the change to start happening. And then you could feel the shifting going on mid-year, June, July. And then we had to wait again. And we had to wait again. And now you can feel it. I've been feeling this coming in, I would say, since probably early September. And there's some things that have already changed already. It's kind of like the prequel. Little things that are shifting and changing, seeing it. I mean, the fact that we even have a puppy in our life again. Paul and I have not done a puppy in 17 years. And let me tell you, it was a lot easier when we were younger. But to have that kind of energy in our life again, that's a change. But there's those of us that are waiting for that one big piece to drop into place, right? And I think that's what we're feeling. I like this part when he writes that where you are ready to bring to life all of your ideas, inspirations, and projects. When this card appears, you're moving into a space that allows you to really grow, expand, and create in a way you've never done before. Yeah, I think that's a big one. Mary's saying we are all of us banged up and frayed around the edges. Hey, that is a fact. And it is very exciting. Cindy Lynn says, I do feel a big change coming. I think it has to do with me printing and framing my photographs of nature and getting more out of my way and putting myself out there with it. Oh my gosh. Cindy Lynn, I didn't even know the kind of photography that you take. Where can we go to see it? Do you have anything online that you share? Because I would like to see it. And who knows, maybe we could use some of your photographs in the magazine. I didn't realize that you do photography of nature, because we use a lot of nature photos. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Please let us know if there's someplace we can go and peruse your artwork. Where we can go to even buy some. Christmas is coming up. Some of us could actually buy Christmas presents from that. All right, so here is the second card called Lady. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. Look at that. I mean, look at the symbolism going on in this picture. It is, she's got an apple with the pentagram. I love her arm cuff too. That's really cool. So she's sitting by an apple tree, right? There's a lot going on in this picture because in the background, I don't know if you can see it, but in the background is the flower of life. Yeah, I like this. There's a lot going on. Let's see what Kyle has to say about that card, about the lady. Okay, the lady. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. Reap what you have sown and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. All right, so here we are sitting with the springtime energy of change, of our manifestations coming into the physical world, how Grandmother Earth brings in the growth, right? Breaking through into the physical world. And now we get the second card called Lady, and that we reap what we have sown and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. The lady, known as the Empress in the traditional tarot, is the representation of the goddess in her most fertile form. She is an abundant, bountiful, and creative being. She is closely connected to nature because it's her child. She represents maternal energy and is more than enough to love to give all who need nurturing. And we could all use nurturing, right? Yet she is a representation of the goddess Venus too, and yearns for a rich relationship with her counterpart, the Lord. In this card, she holds an apple. Its seeds form a perfect pentagram, which in paganism represents the 5 elements of life. Okay, so here's Lady, who is represents the mother in the Celtic tradition of the mother, the maiden mother crone. She's the mother, and she also has the energy of the apple or the pentagram, right? And the pentagram with the 5 elements. That's why they have the flower of life in the background, because the 5 elements, they also are connected to the Platonic solids in sacred geometry. And the Platonic solids are known as the building blocks of all life. So we're back to manifestation. What are we manifesting? Because it is very close. It's about it being in the physical world. Yep. And the lady is a nurturer. Nature is her child. So we're part of nature. We're not separate from it. So we also get to be nurtured by her. And by nurturing, she's helping us to bring in what we're manifesting. Cindy Lynn is saying, but my other big change recently was moving this past summer 3 hours away from where I lived for 15 years for another chance at love. All of it's on my Facebook page. Okay, all the pictures. So you moved. You made a physical move. That's huge. Because your home is a symbol, a metaphor for your life. That's a feng shui axiom. It represents our life. And so when we move a home to a different home, a different space, is that it represents a big change in our life. It's no small thing. It's not. Just the physicalness of it, the physicalness of moving, packing, moving, that is huge. You're getting to your new place and unpacking and putting things in order, right? Putting your house in order. That's a huge change. Because when you do those kinds of changes, you're really making a big change in your life overall. And so sometimes it takes time to integrate that change. And so you said you moved in the summer. Okay. So you must be by now, how many months later? 3 months later, maybe 2 months later? Well, it feels more like 3 or 4 months. Is that you're getting used to your new community? You're settling more into your home, and now you're making those adjustments. You thought that piece was going to go there, and you decide, you know what? No, it doesn't feel right there. I'm going to move it. So you're making those adjustments. So it feels like your change isn't done, Cindy Lynn. It feels like the move was, yes, that was a big change, but you had to be in that place, right time, right place, right? For the next piece to come in. Right time, right place. All right. He's also saying, and getting used to living with someone again. Oh, that's always interesting, isn't it? And Mary is saying, moving allows for purging of the unnecessary. It sure does. It makes you go into all your closets and all the storage spaces and what you've used and haven't used. How many times did I move books? And I'm not talking about, fiction, nonfiction. I'm talking about collegiate books, college books, classes that I took. Why? I moved those things 3 times. Yep. This last time, nope. And it's hard for me to let go of a book. They're more than just friends. And so to purge some of the books and to give them away to good homes and that kind of thing. Yeah, those are big. And you're right, Mary. Moving allows us to go through our belongings and things in our homes to see, what we're going to not move into the new space, right? So the lady, it's about fertility, growth, and abundance are all imminent when the lady arrives in your life. Let me say that again. Fertility, growth, and abundance are all imminent when the lady arrives in your life. All the seeds you have planted are coming to life and are plenty more rewards to come. In the material sense, this card can represent financial security and comfort. It shows that there will be more than enough to go around. So the abundance, it's the opposite of lack. It's the opposite of scarcity. It's having more than enough so that you can share it with others. And, and it's not just the physicalness of it, it's also our spiritual life, right? That our cup is overflowing, that we have recharged, that we're actually tapping into that golden light. And we really understand that concept much more than we ever have, right? It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. So here it is. He also goes on to say, if you are making business deals or setting intentions to create financial growth, this card indicates a considerable amount of monetary success. The lady can also usher in other forms of abundance, such as opportunities, marriage proposals, or even the birth of a child. She will help you respect nature and connect with its forces in order to have a genuinely supported journey through life. I like that last part too, because it's about our connection. It's about our connection to Grandmother Earth. And do we truly believe that she supports us, nurtures us? She gives us practically everything we have in our life. She provides that. And to understand that we're not separate from nature, that we're a part of it, an integral part of it. Because for many, they don't understand that piece. For some of us who either grew up with it or we've been submersed in it for several years, is that the level, the intensity of our belief is much more profound than it was a decade ago. Yeah. That we actually, when we're feeling not quite ourselves, the first thing that should out of our toolbox should come is like, I need to ground to Grandmother. I need to feel her. Whether it's actually going outside and spending time out there, maybe with a tree or with a rock, or being with her. Or maybe if you can't do that, you're actually sitting in meditation or bringing those images that you just love about her. Yeah. So grounding to her. And so, because she's helping us bring in what we're manifesting, bringing it into the physical world, helping us to ground it to the physical plane. It within our own vibration. Okay, because many of us are vibrating in the fourth dimension because Grandmother Earth is vibrating in the fourth and sliding into the fifth. So our manifestations will come with us because it's in our frequency, the frequency of our vibration. I like it. And so when you have the springtime and you have the lady, Spirit's telling us is that what we wanted to manifest in our life is not only just a little, but it's huge, a huge shift, a huge change, and that manifestation is going to be abundant. It's going to be abundant. So, yay for us, huh? All right. So the third card. I know I'm kind of moving along, but we have 3 cards to cover. This one, we've had this before. Mountains. Mountains. And we talked about our connection to mountains and how many of us love being in the mountains and feeling the energy of them. Because mountain energy is like big, huge. That's big medicine kind of energy. Gotta find mountains. Oops. Oh, here we go. 128. Mountains. So stand your ground. The message is hold firm to what you believe in or focusing on because it's absolutely right. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. The lady who represents nature we're being told she's supporting us already. And now this card, the mountains, is just saying the same thing. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. He goes on to say, mountains are strong and wise. They're rooted deep in the earth and reach high into the sky. They have been where they are for thousands of years. They have been homes to animals. They've been climbed on by humans, and they've seen seasons come and go. No matter what has happened to them, they have remained strong, immovable, unshakable, and so they offer the spiritual energies of strength and resilience. Strength and resilience. All right, so when we're going through change, any kind of change, it takes courage, it takes strength, and in many cases it does take resilience. Because with resiliency comes, you have to also have some flexibility to be in the flow, right? It's when we're not in the flow, and we're pretty rigid about our beliefs and pretty rigid about how we think it should come to us, whatever we're manifesting. And sometimes what we need to do is be resilient and flexible at the same time. And mountains, big energy, big energy. All right, Cindy Lynn saying, I do believe in always having to known her. I'm sorry, believe in always have known she does. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hey, Julie Hedges is here. Julie, it's so good to see you in the chat room. I know you're at work, but I'm glad you're here. And Christine is here too, and Minnie. Oh my goodness, my sisters are in the house. Yeah. We need Teresa and Sharon too. Then we could have a sisters gathering. And so the mountains. This is the last card. We got 3 cards today. This is the last one that came. It's mountains. Stand your ground. And it's about being holding firm in what you believe in or focusing on because it's absolutely right. The mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in Grandmother Earth, Great Mother, and reaches high to the Great Father. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more than powerful than you think. You're resilient and grounded, and the energy and air of the mountains is giving you that unshakable strength to be who you are. Don't you like that? To be who you are. Take time to root yourself deeply into the energy of the earth before welcoming in the changes of heaven. If you're not sure what you need to do next, the mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are, talk things over with those around you, and know that change will come to you. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. So basically, is that the change, the shift, is already on the horizon for many people. For some people, it's a lot closer. It's like right at your door. And that you really, all you have to do is stand in your truth and stand like a mountain. Because the change, the shift is coming to you. You've already done everything that you need to do to bring it in. Yeah. Now you got the resiliency for the change. You're already connected to Grandmother Earth. And so it's being able to accept it. Accept the gift is what they're saying. Accept the gift. So here are the 3 cards. This was the first one, spring. That's see your seeds grow. See your seeds grow. I can't say that fast. See your seeds grow. And that's about bringing in the manifestation into the physical world. And it's currently happening. This was the second card, Lady. Enjoy growth and reap the rewards. So we've already sowed the seeds. They're already growing in the springtime. It's already come into the physical world. We get to reap the rewards for it, part of nature. And the third one is mountain. So whatever it is that we're manifesting is coming to us. And what we have to do is be resilient and be like a mountain. It's big energy. Mountains carry big medicine, right? So really, this is all about the change, the shift that's here, that we've already manifested, and it's going to be here. All we have to do is be in this mode, because it's coming to us. We're not going after it; it's coming to us. Yeah, I like it, because we got some big changes coming up too. Star Nations That was when I made my announcement to the universe of what I wanted to do, to bring in 2018. When I did that at the winter solstice last year, I wanted to experience my gifts at 100%, and I wanted my vehicle. Hey, you too, Minnie Kansman. She says listening too. Um, is I wanted to use the vehicle of Star Nations to do that, because with Star Nations, we provide a platform for energy workers, healers of all kinds, um, to amplify their voice, to give them the platform to bring their message, right? To bring their gifts. And I like doing it. I really do. I am a really good cheerleader, and I give as much support as I possibly can. And so I wanted to experience my gifts through Star Nations. And so we spent a good part of 2018, I would say 6, maybe 7 months of stabilizing, and then oh, I don't know. Can you guys still see me? I think so. I have this thing pop up that changes are made may not be saved. I didn't do nothing. I don't know. If you could just send me a message and see, let's see. Maybe I could do it myself too, right? Because I got my phone right here. Test message. Okay, it's coming through. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Anyway, what I was trying to explain was is that I know that the stabilization had to occur. And so now we're in a place where the next expansion can happen. And that's what I've been working on, amongst other things. And so in 2019, you'll be seeing a little bit of a, I don't want to say a little bit, there's going to be some shifts, some changes. You're going to notice them, that's for sure. And I've contacted many of the writers and show hosts to share with them that now is a good time to really take the filters off. No, there's no more hiding anything about their message. Is to use their voice in whether it's their writing or whether it's on their live stream shows, because our platform, this is the message that I got from Spirit, is that the stage that we're standing on to be able to bring the information and the messages to our community, the size of the stage isn't going to change, but it's the size of it's no longer the size of a theater. It'll be the size of a stadium or a coliseum. And so we're going to be reaching a lot more souls. And that our messages, we need to make sure that we're using our voice and not coming through a filter, that we're sharing it from our hearts. And not that we haven't been, it's just that I think that some of us have been kind of shy about it, and so now is the time, because we're getting we're going to a coliseum. It's no longer just a theater. So those are the changes that are coming up through Star Nations. And so getting these cards, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, all right, well, we're prepared. That's what we've been doing. And so I can't wait to show you guys some stuff. But I also have to wait for the right timing, is contracts to be signed and those kinds of things. And so watch for it. We're going to be coming out with the 2019 class schedule too. We might not have exact dates yet, but teachers that are part of Star Nations, I'll be contacting them and asking them what they would like to teach and what month would they like to be here to teach that topic, and getting the 2019 calendar out. So got some good stuff coming up for you guys. So that's what's going on here. We've got shows coming up next week. We have Julie Hedges show on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Paul Krause is catching up from vacation time, and so we're going to be doing a replay for him. We're going to be doing, it's a show that he did quite a while ago, and so it's going to be, for some people, it'll be brand new, and others is going to say, oh yeah, it was one of my favorite ones. So we're going to get that prepared for him. And Tuesday is Polly Joe's back on track with Chakra Sessions at noon on Tuesday. My show, Communications from Home, will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering the new October issue of Star Nations. And we got some behind the backstory kind of stuff going on to share with you. And then Wednesday, of course, Polly Joe's back with Soul Connections at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's on Wednesday. Yeah, I think that's it. It feels like a lot, doesn't it? All right. So, you know what I'd like to say is enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a really good weekend. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Believe it's going to be in the afternoon again for the next card draw live stream. That's tomorrow, Saturday at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. So enjoy the rest of your day. Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. I love you guys.